got 5 wins out of all that last year with Todd Monken, better coaches in the building, a new philosophy, a new system, improved talent. Why is it that people are finding it hard to believe that the Browns can win 8 games? Why is it hard for people to believe that our new head coach can be worth 3 more wins than what we got last year?
Everyone keeps asking one question: who is going to save the Browns at quarterback? But what if that's the wrong question? What if Cleveland doesn't need a superstar quarterback at all? What if all they need is someone who protects the football, makes the easy throw, and lets the rest of the roster do the work? Because history says plenty of NFL teams have won double-digit games without elite quarterback play. And when you look at what Todd Monken has been building this offseason, the answer becomes even more interesting. This team might already have enough talent to win. They just need the quarterback to stop losing games.
This is Todd Monken's first big decision as a head coach. He can't manufacture a winner that he tries to sell to the locker room. That doesn't work.
Think about last season. Turnovers, missed reads, drives ending before they even started. The Browns weren't asking the quarterbacks to throw for 400 yards. They were asking them to keep the offense alive. That's why this year feels different. The conversation isn't about finding Patrick Mahomes. It's about finding stability. And that alone could completely change the season.
There's a lot of people that are saying, Shedeur Sanders, not an NFL quarterback, or Shedeur Sanders, boy, he's a starter. What are your thoughts on that whole thing?
Yeah, I mean, there's no way anybody could be this definitive yet on Shedeur. I'll say that there are some things, and when you watch him on tape, that you're like, oh, well, if he can put this and this together, there's a case for him to be a good quarterback eventually.
Every offseason, fans fall into the same trap. They believe the only way to win in today's NFL is with an elite quarterback. Sure, having Josh Allen helps, having Lamar Jackson helps, Joe Burrow changes games, but that's not the only blueprint that works. Football is still the ultimate team sport. A quarterback touches the ball every play, but he doesn't have to carry every play. That's where Cleveland could surprise people. Todd Monken has already made one thing clear: competition will decide who plays. Not contracts, not draft position, not outside noise. Every rep has to be earned, and the reps won't always be split evenly, because he wants to see who can actually run the offense. That matters, because sometimes coaches become too focused on finding explosive plays. Monken seems more interested in finding consistency. If the quarterback keeps the offense on schedule, the rest starts to work. Think about the Browns roster. The offensive line should be healthier, the running game has fresh legs, the defense still has plenty of playmakers. That means the quarterback doesn't have to throw 45 passes every Sunday. Instead, move the chains. Take the check down, hit the open receiver, avoid the disaster throw. It sounds simple, but that's exactly what winning football usually looks like.
If I'm drafting these kids tonight or tomorrow night or Saturday, and I know they're going to have to play, how the hell am I getting them ready?
I think I
want to know.
It's a great point. And I would say the first thing is you've got to give me more time with my guys in the offseason.
There's another reason people overlook: field position. Every interception does more than end your drive. It gives the opponent confidence. It tires your defense. It changes the entire game. Now flip that around. Imagine your offense punts instead of turning it over. Your defense gets better field position. Your special teams become more valuable. One smart decision creates 3 positive outcomes. That's why coaches obsess over ball security. Fans love highlight throws. Coaches love quarterbacks who avoid bad ones. Look around the league. The teams that consistently make the playoffs usually rank near the top in turnover margin. That's not a coincidence. That's winning football. And that's exactly where Cleveland has struggled. Not because they lack talent, because they kept giving opponents extra possessions. Clean that up, the win total starts climbing without changing much else.
We showed out of the 5 losses within the division, the NFC North, I think it was 3 to 4 of those 5 losses were decided because of a horrible interception or a fumble, i.e. not protecting the freaking football. So now you think you can just go in and and just be careless with the football? That's absolutely crazy.
Now let's talk about something Todd Monken has quietly emphasized: development. One of his first messages after taking over was simple: the Browns are in the development business. Every player should improve. Every practice should matter. Every rep should have a purpose. That sounds obvious, but it changes the culture. Instead of asking, who's QB1? The better question becomes, who's getting better every week? Because if your quarterback improves 5%, your receivers improve, your protection improves, the entire offense starts playing faster. Football is connected like that. One improvement spreads across the whole roster. And Monken isn't interested in handing anyone the job early. He's letting training camp decide. That creates urgency. Players know nothing is guaranteed. The best player plays. Simple. That's exactly how a healthy locker room should work. There's another thing people forget. Explosive plays are exciting, but sustained drives are exhausting. Not for your offense, but for the defense. Imagine facing a team that keeps converting 3rd and 4, then 3rd and 3, then 3rd and 2. They don't score in 2 plays. They score after 12, 13, or 14 play drives. Now your defense is tired. Your offense gets cold. Momentum changes. That's how average quarterbacks beat talented teams. Not with magic, with patience. And that's the kind of football Cleveland may finally embrace. There's another mistake people make when talking about the Browns. They assume the quarterback has to be the reason they win. But sometimes the quarterback just has to avoid being the reason they lose. That's a huge difference. Think about some of the best teams over the last decade. Not every playoff team had an MVP quarterback. Some simply played smart football. They ran the ball, controlled the clock, protected possession, and played great defense. And when the game was on the line, the quarterback made 1 or 2 big throws instead of trying to make 10. That's the formula Cleveland should be chasing, because this roster isn't built around one player. It's built to win as a team.
That position, there's more that goes into playing quarterback and that you have to work on that you just can't do it during the regular season. You just don't have time to really do it. Or, as you're alluding to, we need another league.
Now look at what Todd Monken has inherited. He isn't walking into a rebuilding project. He's walking into a locker room with experienced veterans, a defense that can change games, and playmakers on both sides of the ball. That gives him flexibility. He doesn't need to force the offense into becoming one of the league's highest scoring units overnight. He can build around efficiency. That means shorter throws, play action, quick decisions, and getting the ball out before pressure arrives. Those little details don't make the highlight shows, but they win football games. That's why training camp matters so much. Every quarterback is being tested in the same offense. Who gets through their reads the fastest? Who protects the football? Who keeps drives alive? Those answers are more important than who throws the prettiest deep ball. Because if 2 quarterbacks can make the same throw, coaches will usually trust the one who makes fewer mistakes. That's how jobs are won. Not with one spectacular play, with hundreds of good decisions.
He's working on getting the ball out faster, aligning his eyes and his footwork to what he's seeing. And I think what that happens is, let's get the ball out quickly. Don't be a hero.
There's also something fans often overlook. Winning more games doesn't always require a dramatically better offense. Sometimes it only requires a few more successful drives each game. 1 extra 3rd down conversion, 1 fewer turnover, 1 touchdown instead of a field goal. Over a full season, those small moments add up. Think about how many NFL games are decided by 1 score. Usually it's just 1 or 2 plays that separate a win from a loss. If Cleveland cleans up those moments, their record could look very different. That's why saying the Browns need an elite quarterback misses the point. They need dependable quarterback play. There's a big difference. A dependable quarterback keeps the offense on schedule, gets everyone lined up correctly, recognizes pressure before the snap, and finds the open receiver instead of forcing the difficult throw. Those things rarely make the evening highlights, but coaches notice every single one, and teammates notice them too, because when the quarterback stays calm, the offense stays confident. That's contagious. One steady drive can completely change the energy on the sideline. Now let's answer the biggest question. Can the Browns actually win more games without elite quarterback play? Yes, but there's one condition. The quarterback cannot become the story every Sunday. If fans leave the stadium talking about how the defense dominated, how the running game controlled the clock, and how the offensive line protected well, that's probably a good sign, because it means the quarterback did exactly what he needed to do. Nothing more, nothing less. That's how balanced football works. Todd Monken understands that. His offense doesn't need someone chasing highlight reels. It needs someone who understands situations. 2nd and 6, 3rd and 2, red zone, 2-minute drill. Every situation calls for a different decision. The smartest quarterbacks know when not to force the big play. That maturity wins games and it saves seasons. So maybe the biggest improvement Cleveland needs isn't a stronger arm or a faster quarterback. Maybe it's simply better decisions. Because if the Browns can eliminate just 1 costly mistake each week, they could easily turn several close losses into wins. In today's NFL, that's often the difference between missing the playoffs and hosting a playoff game. That's why this season feels different. Not because Cleveland suddenly found the next superstar quarterback, but because they may finally have an offensive approach that doesn't depend on one. If Todd Monken gets his quarterbacks to play efficient football, if the running game controls the pace, and if the defense continues creating short fields, the Browns won't need an MVP under center. They'll need someone who values every possession. And if that happens, don't be surprised if Cleveland wins more games than people expect. Not because they became flashy, because they became disciplined. And sometimes that's even more dangerous.